Hello and welcome. Today we're going to tackle something we all use and, let's be real, something we all get frustrated by, web forms. We're going to talk about how to take them from this tedious, kind of clunky chore and turn them into a slick, flawless user experience.
You know the feeling, right? You've spent minutes, maybe even longer, carefully filling out every single box, name, address, all of it. You finally hit that submit button, the page flashes, and poof, it's all gone. It is probably one of the most maddening things on the internet. But it really doesn't have to be that way.
You know, the difference between the old way and the modern way of doing forms is just night and day. We're talking about moving away from that whole frustrating cycle of page reloads, lost data, and confusing error messages. The goal now is a totally seamless experience. No page reloads, instant feedback as you type, and really clear guidance if you happen to make a mistake. So how do we actually do it?
Okay, so our very first move is all about taking back control. See, by default, a web browser is just programmed to refresh the entire page the second you hit submit. We need to step in and tell it, nope, not this time. We're going to stop that automatic page refresh right in its tracks.
This right here, this single line of JavaScript code, it's the key that unlocks everything. When a user clicks submit, our code jumps in and basically tells the browser, hey, hold on a second. Don't do your usual page reload thing. I've got this. This one little command is what makes all the other cool stuff possible.
So now that we've stopped the form from just blindly submitting, we can build ourselves a smart little gatekeeper. Its only job is to check the data before it ever leaves the user's computer. This process is called client-side validation, and it makes sure we're only dealing with good, clean information.
And here's the really cool part. Modern HTML gives us a whole set of powerful tools right out of the box. We can set up basic rules just by adding attributes like required or setting the type to something like email. The browser already knows what these mean, which saves us from having to write a ton of extra code ourselves. It's awesome.
Now, for any rules that are a bit more complex, we use a pretty simple process in JavaScript. We listen for every single keystroke, and in real time, we check if what you've typed is valid. If it's not, we tell you what's wrong right away. And, just as important, the moment you fix it, that error message disappears. It's like having a helpful guide sitting right there with you.
And that brings us to this incredibly powerful tool, Set Custom Validity. This is how we take the user experience to the next level. Instead of the browser's vague, unhelpful error like, please match the requested format, we can be super specific. We can write our own messages like, hey, your password needs to be at least 8 characters long, or, whoops, don't forget the @ symbol in your email. It's all about replacing vague frustration with total clarity.
Words are great, for sure, but getting instant visual feedback can be even better. We can actually build a much more intuitive form just by using simple colors to guide the user. And believe it or not, it's incredibly easy to do with just a little bit of CSS.
Think about it. When a user fills out a field correctly, we can give them a little reward right away. Using a special CSS selector called :valid, we can make the border of the input box turn green. It's this small, satisfying little signal that basically says, yep, that's perfect. You can keep going. And of course, on the flip side, we have the invalid selector. If the input breaks one of our rules, say an email address that's missing the @ symbol, the border instantly turns red. This immediately draws the user's eye right to the problem spot. No more hunting around the page trying to figure out what went wrong. And look how simple this is. This is literally all the code you need to create that powerful red light, green light system. Just 2 lines of CSS to make the whole experience so much more intuitive and less stressful. That's a huge impact for such a tiny amount of effort. Okay, so we've taken control, we've checked all the data, and we've guided the user with these helpful visual cues. Now it's time for the big payoff, sending that perfect, clean data off to the server, all without that horrible page refresh. This right here is another total game changer. The form data object is, well, it's like a magic basket. Instead of us having to go through the form and painstakingly pick up the value from every single field one by one, we just tell form data, hey, go grab everything from this form. It automatically collects all the data for us, even tricky stuff like file uploads, and packages it all up nice and neat. And how do we send that neatly wrapped package of data?
We use Fetch. The Fetch API lets us send our form data to the server in the background. The user just stays on the page, nothing blinks, nothing reloads, and the data just gets sent seamlessly behind the scenes. It's the final piece of the modern form puzzle.
So, to quickly recap, it's all about a series of smart choices. First, we take control with prevent default to stop those reloads. Then, we validate our data using a smart combo of HTML and JavaScript. We make sure to be helpful with clear, custom error messages. We guide the user's eye with simple CSS. And finally, we make the submission totally painless with form data.
Every single form out there is an opportunity to reduce a little bit of frustration and make someone's day just a tiny bit easier. So now that you're looking at the web with these new eyes, I'll leave you with this question. What's the first checkout page, or sign-up form, or contact page that you're going to go out and make better? Thanks for joining me.